That's good. And away we go.
Good morning, Columbus. Welcome to another edition of From Our House to Your Home, the Remodeler Showcase. My name's Marty Reed, and the show is brought to you by Frog Hauling. If you want to clean your garage, your basement, your yard, give Frog Hauling a call. And if you're a remodeling contractor and only the best product will do for your customer, think of Frog Hauling. We carry 5 different sizes of containers so that you never have to rent more container than you need. Well, I'm happy to say today we have a repeat guest who's been on the show before. I wish I could say it was by popular demand, but I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. It is by popular demand. We have a good friend of mine, John Roy with C. Roy Homes. John is a member of the National Association of Remodelers and is quite a successful remodeler. Kind of, I'd say Franklin County. It's not just, you're not just centrally located because, full disclosure, I do provide dumpsters for John's company, and I'm very thankful for that, John, so thank you.
You bet.
And so I get to see some of the locations. John's, I'm going to say he's kind of out and about. He'll be down in Arlington with one and up in Sunbury with one, so you kind of work all over the place, and that's a good thing. Okay, you know that I put people on the spot, so I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Nope.
You get to introduce yourself, and you cannot say, I'm John Roy, the owner of C. Roy. That's boring. You gotta, I know you like hunting. I don't care what you talk about. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks, Marty. Appreciate you having me out here. Well, guess what? I'm
What?
John Roy with C. Roy.
He got me.
I've been in the business now for 12 years. 12 years this month we've had our business.
Well, congratulations. Good.
Absolutely love what I do. Don't feel like I've ever gone to work a day in my life. So it truly is a dream for me and the folks that are part of my team. I've got a whole gaggle of kids.
You
Got
do.
a huge family.
Yeah.
I do like hunting, absolutely.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
going to get you out there with your bad hip or not.
Okay. You let them know I have a bad hip, don't you? They can look at that. They're going to see me on Facebook today and go, that guy's old. Now you're telling them I have bad hip. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, there's not a lot to tell. It's very simple. We solve problems for folks that are looking to improve their lifestyle in their home.
Okay. And I do want to delve into that a little bit because, you know, one of the things I try to talk to all the remodelers that come on the show is the process that they go through with customers.
Sure.
You know, there's a phrase that everybody uses in the remodeling industry. It's design build.
Mm-hmm.
However, what you find is that there's really a difference in what that phrase means, and it starts with, you know, how you initially contact the customer, what you talk about, you know, the work plans, how you communicate, all those kind of things that take place. I mean, what I'm trying to say, from the very start
Mm-hmm.
to the very end. And it's important because I always tell people that I consider the most important thing in selecting the remodeler that you work with. Sure, it's, you know, credentials and references, those kind of things, but it's whether or not you can get along with that person.
Absolutely.
Is it a good personality fit?
That's right.
Because let's say you're doing a room addition with a whole bunch of other stuff and the remodeler's living in your house for
Mm-hmm.
6 months.
Mm-hmm.
If you two can't communicate and get along, we have a problem.
That's right. That's
You
right.
shouldn't have done business with each other. So, kind of in your own words, if you don't mind, John, just walk us through your process of how you work with a customer so that you end up, you know, with the actual finished product that they want, so to speak.
Sure.
Is that fair?
Sure. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. And I'll be the guinea pig customer if you want. I don't care. You can ask me questions. Because as everybody knows, I'm horrible. I couldn't pick out a paint color, so I'm your worst nightmare. But go ahead. Okay.
not sure that I would agree to do work at your house.
Okay, I was the first eliminated cut. You heard it right here, folks. Go ahead.
So it all starts with, the first point of contact is folks reach out to me. They say, we're planning to do this, we're planning to do that, whatever it might be. So when we set up an initial meeting, I go out and introduce myself, and we just chit-chat. And what I try to do is not have them focus so much on, I want to, put the sink over here, or I want to do a finished basement, the bar over here, a bedroom down here. I try to get an idea of what they want to change in their lifestyle. Hey, do you entertain a lot? How many people do you have on the holidays? Are you watching football in the basement? That kind of thing. And then I design a plan around what I think fits their lifestyle goals.
Okay. So when you say you create a plan, what does that mean? What is the plan?
So at that initial meeting, I'll gather all the information, measurements, pictures, take notes on what they're telling me. Then I take that back and I do the design work for it. So I'll come up with a sketch showing what we're trying to accomplish. We come up with a spec sheet listing out everything that we're putting in, pictures that show color of product, all that fun stuff. So the goal is at that second meeting, everybody's on the same page with what we are proposing to do. Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about, and I know then we'll get into the communication step, they agree to the project, the budget, whatever, and then there's a whole another piece to this.
That's right.
So we've kind of gone through the qualification, the budget, the design phase is what you're describing. Okay. This is what I call the phase that would keep me up at night. Besides old age. And this is where you have to pick out product. How do you work with in other words, if you could show me a sketch on paper, it would.
A lot of people are like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you physically take your customer out to these showrooms? Do you bring product to their? How do you put all that together?
It depends on the customer.
Okay.
We have done both. So we'll have a designer come to your house, and she will know a few select items that you're looking for, and she's able to narrow that down and take it to you.
Okay.
If a customer is up in the air, I have no idea what I'm looking for, we usually tell them, well, let's look online, see some pictures, and that'll guide us in the right direction.
Okay.
Cabinets, sure, we're going to go to a cabinet shop and look at the cabinets. Tile is completely overwhelming. Any flooring's overwhelming unless you narrow it down ahead of time.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
By way of story, I took my wife to one of the tile stores. Well, it's a Hamilton Parker, which I love going there. And I had to sit back and laugh because the first thing my wife said when she walked in the door was, I think the lady approached her and said, "What are you looking for?" She said, "I don't know."
That's it.
I'm doing a backsplash, but I don't know. And you could tell that we were just fortunate. The person that she dealt with was very good at her job, and she narrowed it down in about 30 seconds. And then she brought her over to that area, and boom. I was expecting to have an all-day marathon, sit in the chair, try to read a paper, get a water or whatever, and we were done in 10 minutes. So, okay, so I understand a little bit what you're saying. You got to narrow it down. But you're also saying whatever it takes kind of thing. If I have to bring you, you obviously, like all remodelers, you have relationships with all the product suppliers in town.
Oh, sure.
The very good product suppliers. We're not talking about big box stores, right?
Exactly.
We're going where there's the unique product that you can't get other places. Okay, so you've kind of picked out the products. You got to go through, I imagine, scheduling when you actually start the job, because you order this stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of it it takes time to get it, right?
It does.
Okay, it does. So now you come in and you just start creating a holy mess at my house. Knocking down walls, whatever you're doing. I can imagine that, and here's, I kind of preface this up front. Communication.
Absolutely.
So take me through kind of in detail how you communicate with that customer during that phase of the project.
Through the actual construction
Yeah,
phase.
yeah.
The physical construction phase, you'll get a call from me once a day.
Okay.
At least once a day.
Okay.
Let you know what's going on. I can annoy the hell out of you, quite honestly.
Okay, but
Because
that's good.
Too much communication is still not enough communication in my mind.
Yeah.
But it's constant communication. At our pre-construction meeting before we start a project, that's something I go over. That's the key to a successful job is communicate.
Okay.
And we pride ourselves on that.
So the pre-construction is kind of, you're going to lay out everything and what the customer should expect.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get into that project, you're of course going to be annoying, right?
Exactly. That's right. That's right.
Well, I was right on that when I said communication's the key, right?
That's right. Exactly.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, well, let's finish up here.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine that there's two areas that we haven't talked about. Everybody changes their mind.
Sure.
And I know you love this like a lot of remodelers. During the project, what if we did this instead of that, you probably get.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's all complete, there's got to be, I would think, a process where you kind of wrap up the project with the customer, make sure that everything, they're happy, things may need to be corrected, that sort of thing. So walk us through those kind of two phases.
Okay. Changing your mind throughout the project, that never happens.
Okay.
It happens very, very frequently.
Okay.
And it's just part of the process.
Yeah.
Obviously, the customer is going to get exactly what they want. So changing your mind it just happens. In fact, I tell them we've got a perfect plan right now, and it's not going to be this plan when we're done with it. I guarantee you.
That's a good way to approach it. Expect it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they do. They change their mind. One thing that we don't do is for our allowance numbers for tile, cabinets, so on and so forth. We kind of bump those up so that when we go to the change orders and selections process, you're not getting dinged for nickel and dime for an upgraded countertop or cabinet, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So that helps quite a bit for the customer to budget as we're going through the process.
Because people have to stay. I mean, everybody enters a project. I'm sure you don't get customers that come to you and say, "Oh, John, whatever it costs."
No.
No, you wish.
If
but
you're saying that, then I will.
Okay. No, but I mean, that's part of the qualification when you're dealing with a customer. I'm sure you go through that where you go, this isn't a good fit based upon the work that we do because you wouldn't fit, your budget doesn't fit. We're not
Correct.
the right.
That's correct.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Okay, and then there's, like we said, there's probably I don't want to say it, a wrap-up portion to the project where you make sure that the customer's satisfied. Correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
And what's that process?
That is probably the most difficult part of any project is the last little paint touch-up, the final details.
Okay.
What we do is a walkthrough with the customer after things are completed.
Okay.
They will note some things that need done. I'll note some things that need done, and it could be like I said, a paint touch up, or there's a scratch in the hardwood that we have to get repaired. Those kind of little things. Once we get that, we generate what's called a punch out list, and then we just schedule accordingly and knock it out.
Okay. And is there any kind of warranty with your work?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, it's a standard BIA warranty that all the builders use.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, what we've been remiss here, we're going to spend just a few minutes, but kind of go down the laundry list, because we haven't talked about the things you do.
Okay.
You do bathrooms, you do room addition. I'll let you do it. You can go down your list.
The best way to sum it up is any part of a construction of a new house, whether it's exterior or interior, we have done and will do.
Okay.
Bathrooms, basements, outdoor living spaces, kitchens, room additions, so on and so forth.
So nothing's off limits. Well, I know there are
Okay.
some things.
Right, right.
I mean, for example,
Mhm.
you know, a lot of remodelers, like they'll say, yeah, we'll do the roofing for you, but they'll play the contractor and bring in the qualified crew.
Mhm.
Or windows, you know.
Right,
Those
right.
are kind of specialty things where you're
Mhm.
laying a foundation. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm sure you have a foundation crew if you're doing a room addition. They're going to come because those are the specialists that do it. You can't be.
That's correct.
You guys are more of the finish carpenters, so to speak. You put it all together.
Well, we have folks that fill every specialty piece
Yeah.
of the construction process. And that's the way I set it up several years ago is, you know, I've got a framer and all he does is frame.
Yeah.
I don't want him to...
He's not a finished carpenter.
He's not a drywaller, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So electricians, every trade is specific to, you know, to their specialty.
Okay.
With the exception of, you know, punch-out guys, and you have to have a multi-skilled guy to touch up that paint touch-up and
Fix that floor.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break here. When we get back, we're going to talk about a few things, but we won't have much time, but we'll talk about kind of the trends that you're seeing in the marketplace,
Sure.
what kind of products people are picking out.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go, tell people how they can get in touch with you. I forgot
Sure.
all about that. Go ahead.
Well, thanks. It's John Roy. The company is C. Roy Homes. It's the letter C, R-O-Y, Homes. And just give me a call, 614-348-9257, or visit our website. And it's CROYHomes.com.
And I will tell you, folks, go visit the website. John has a project gallery. I don't know, there's a ton of pictures of all the projects you have there. And that's the best way to take a look at the type of work that you do. And they're fantastic pictures and fantastic projects. So
Thank you.
go see his website, C. Roy Homes. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Good. How many?
Yeah, you got about 9 minutes.
See.
This goes quick.
Flies.
Yeah.
Okay.
He probably doesn't. When you were talking about the budget, he probably doesn't have people that call him up and say, "I just won $100 million in the Powerball. I got no budget. You know, whatever."
Yeah.
Probably doesn't happen.
No.
Yeah.
Not frequently.
No.
There we go.
Once in a lifetime.
Oh, thank you so much. That's my son, Danny.
Come on.
Dr. Dan.
He knew I forgot my phone. Okay. Go ahead.
After you.
Now, yeah, he's looking after you. That's good. All right.
It's not good because my other sons told John I was senile.
Oh,
I just
jeez.
validated that.
Oh, boy.
I'm sitting here going, oh, Danny, why did you do that? Okay, go ahead.
Here we go.
Welcome back, everyone. Once again, we are talking with John Roy of C. Roy Homes, a remodeler in the Franklin County and greater Franklin County area. John gets around. And for the break, I said, you know, one of the things that I want to talk about is, which people enjoy, I guess, the latest trends, okay? And it seems to me that they're constantly changing.
They are.
One of the things that I ran, and you can confirm this for me, I don't know how quick they catch up, but I am one of those guys that was never a fan of gray paint. And that gray color, I'd walk into every house, and I go to the NARI tour, remodeled homes, and here's another gray wall, the light gray, whatever it was, right? Because I'm so old, John, it reminds me of an old factory where I used to white. But I will say it looks pretty with white woodwork, but it's just not me. And one of the trends that I remember, we had somebody speak at a NARI meeting this year, and they were talking paint colors, and vibrant colors are supposedly back. But you would know better than I. You pick a room like a kitchen, for example. What are you seeing that people are using in kitchens? How's that?
Exactly like you said. It's still the grays.
Okay.
Yeah, I have yet to see the vibrant colors that you're talking about.
Okay.
A lot of grays, and there's more shades of gray, so
Yeah.
to speak, than
Well, they've addressed the marketplace.
That's right.
What people want, I guess.
But I don't see vibrant colors, particularly in a kitchen. You know, if we do a room addition in a kid's room, then yeah, we'll see something bright and fun.
My kitchen's light green. I like it.
Is it?
Yeah, I mix 2 colors of green. I'm vibrant. Okay. Well, one of the things, you tell me if you've dealt with this yet, because it seems to be a relatively new trend, and I was kind of blown away by it. I saw this in a remodeled house. You know, I'd say, you know, you can confirm it, wood flooring is a big deal in kitchens.
Yes.
And we went the wood flooring, the laminate flooring, and what I'm seeing now is that vinyl strip flooring. Have you come across that?
I have.
It is a really, to me, it seems like a really incredible product. I mean, simplicity of, you can't tell anymore.
Oh, exactly.
When you look at it, it looks like real wood, and it's not your mother's sheet vinyl.
No.
So I don't want to confuse people out there. You actually lay it in strips, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's when that first came out. Oh, shoot, probably 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
I was so impressed with it. I put it in my house and beat it up for a couple of years, and you just can't. It's very durable, and you can't tell the difference between it and wood.
But is it starting to catch on in the marketplace where
is.
people are using that as an alternative to the laminate and
Absolutely.
maybe putting in wood flooring?
It is, and it's in certain situations it works better.
Yeah.
For example, if you want hardwood in your basement, you're probably going to use this. It's LVT is what it's called, luxury vinyl tile.
Oh, okay.
Because
Good point.
Because you're on concrete.
Yeah.
And if people have 3, 4, 5 big dogs, then I would say let's use the LVT versus hardwood, because you're going to have a nightmare with
The
scratches,
scratching
right?
and that kind of thing.
That's right.
But it just looks so good, the stuff I've seen. I actually was walking on it in a house I went into and didn't realize it was vinyl.
That's my favorite thing about the LVT versus a laminate is when you walk on it, it sounds like wood.
Yeah.
Heels, high heels, on laminate to me just sounds hollow.
Is the pricing, what's it compatible with? Would it be more expensive than putting in hardwood? Less expensive? I don't know.
Let's say it's about the same as traditional hardwood floors.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is it easier to lay than a hardwood floor, the process?
Absolutely. You already have your color. You're not sanding and staining, for a week with this product. And it'll go down. You could do 1,000 square feet in a day if you had to.
But you're going to lay a subfloor first, right, to make sure. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Because I think I remember the old stick and peel tiles. You'd lay it over the old vinyl and stuff. It's not that, folks. I mean, you have to go out and see it, and it's called LVT.
That's correct.
So go to one of the finer flooring stores if you're thinking of doing some flooring. Take a look at that product. Okay, kitchens. Is it still mixed colors? Are white cabinets still the craze? Or I'm seeing a lot of cabinets that are color cabinets now.
Sure.
Blues, greens. I mean, these really cool looking cabinets.
And something you don't see very much now are painted cabinets. Or are stained cabinets. You see a lot of painted cabinets, like you said, with different colors. But I haven't seen, in a kitchen anyway, a stained cabinet set up.
Don't say that too loud. I have beautiful stained cherry cabinets.
Well, give me a call. I'd be happy to.
No, John, I'm sticking with. I have to tell you a story, and because this is just another product out there, folks, that you'll know. Gold faucets, right? Okay. I was at a NARI meeting, and they had someone in who was talking about hardware or something. And gold is back. Now, it's not the old gold, right?
Right.
It's kind of, and I won't get it right, brush gold or something, but the gold palette is coming back.
Yes.
And I was so happy because I went home to my wife and I said, those gold faucets you've been telling me to replace in the bath? We don't have to do it. They're back in style.
That's right.
So that's how I am. Okay. Anything, we've got 2 or 3 minutes left here, so we got to be, anything new that you're seeing? Bathrooms. We'll keep it simple.
Bathrooms, it's all plumbing fixtures. What else can this valve do for you?
The overhead shower valve.
Oh, the electronic button outside the shower that you push to warm up the water before you get in the shower, that kind of thing. So just a lot of luxuries in that little tiny space.
Okay. And how about tubs? Everybody getting rid of tubs, or if we
They still are. Yes, I
Yeah.
wish there was a market for
old
used
Oh yeah.
Whirlpool soaking tubs. Yeah.
Oh yeah. This, in particular, the Whirlpool. Those
Right,
things.
right.
Those things are out of here. Okay. Well, we've got to wrap this up. I appreciate you coming on the show,
Thank you.
and I can speak from experience. If you're thinking of a remodeling project, give John a call at C. Roy Homes. Just Google C. Roy Homes, and you'll get to his website. I'm fortunate because I know a lot of folks that have used John's company, and they rave about him. And one of the things that always separates a good remodeler from the rest of them out there is when the customers come back. And we have a mutual friend who's probably, I don't know how many projects he's used you for. John's totally redone his house, and this friend of mine and his wife absolutely love John. John's easy to work with too. We talked about the communication thing. You're going to see us on Facebook. You can tell he's an easy guy to work with. So anyways, John, once again, thanks for being on the show. And folks, I appreciate you listening as always, and I'm going to give you a food for thought today that says, go out and make somebody happy. I try to do that every day, and we'll see you next week.